have to bring out the hero's journey chart to figure this one out.
Oh my god.
God, there's our feeble scholar. Who are you people? God, this is beautiful. Oh no, the baby.
Now I'm crying.
Friends and gamers, I am overstimulated because I'm just now realizing how loud one of the AC units outside my window is being again. We're back to that apparently. Anyways, hello friends and gamers. I am very late with this. Also, my brain just isn't working. Like, I don't think I was prepared to record a video, and then I started recording a video when I probably should have just gone to sleep. It's like 10 o'clock at night, but I'm like, we gotta do something productive before I go to sleep on this Saturday. So we're gonna do the Star Rail content catch up so I can finally get into 3.2. I have not logged into 3.2 yet because I haven't done the catch up or the patch video. So I've kind of been putting both of those things off. And so we're gonna do them. So we have the trailer for 3.2. We have all the little videos that have come out. And then usually what I've been doing is going through Twitter to make sure we didn't miss anything. But I realized it would probably be a lot easier and better to just go through everything on HoloLab, so that's what we're gonna do. Because it's all there, and then I don't have to deal with Twitter. So we're gonna do it that way. But we're gonna do trailers and stuff. I have seen bits and pieces from all of these videos we're watching because obviously it's been a minute. But yeah, we're gonna watch them. We're gonna finally watch them. So version 2.3, oh my God, 3.2 trailer, Through the Petals in the Land of Repose is what we're watching first. We're starting with that, it's the trailer. We're not doing the special program just because I am so late at this point, it does not fully matter. So I'm very excited for this. I do know the voice actor for Inoxa. I'm happy with it. Hopefully they don't change any more voice actors because I think that one would hurt me if they changed Inoxa's voice actor. I think that would hurt me. Anyways, let's get into this, yeah? Do we have actual English? Yes, we do. Not autogen, actual subtitles in English.
Want to know if my touch.
Oh yeah, because Castorice's whole thing is that she can't touch people. This is gonna hit, isn't it? It's gonna hit. I feel like we're going into it very, very hot. We're going into this one very hot. Like, there was no setup. Whatever happened to Hello, we just went straight in.
No, perhaps.
And I have heard,
One last chance.
I will say I've heard some really mixed things about the story update for 3.2. Because here's the bit, right? And we might have to bring out the hero's journey chart to figure this one out. Because I was right about 3.0 and 3.1 story and how it was gonna rock. I was right about that. So we might have to bring out the chart again. But version 3.0 story update was bad as far as I heard, because I still haven't done it. But I heard it was bad. It was boring. 3.1, however, was exciting. It was good. And I figured that would be the case based on the hero's journey graph, because 3.0 is the setup. And I've said this before, the setup and introduction, expository stuff of your story should still be entertaining, because here's the whole thing. I don't know who said this or where I found this quote. I found it on Tumblr, I think, originally, but I don't know what the original source is. But if you're writing a story, the beginning of your story, like, you should treat that beginning of the story as if your reader or audience or whatever is having like the literal worst day of their life and they're consuming your media to get out of that funk. And that's your goal, get them out of the funk. So you can unfortunately fall into the trap of having too much expository stuff, introductory stuff in your intro of the story to the point where it gets boring. And I think that's what happened with 3.0. I'm pretty sure I was right about that, because 3.1 apparently was great. It was popping. It was great. I don't know what's happening now that 3.2 is boring again, but I mean, we'll see. It could just be they need to do more expository setup stuff to build up to like the inevitable climax of the story. And that's why, like, it feels like it might just be very lore dumpy. I'm not sure, but where were we going with this? I don't know where we're going with this. I think it was just that 3.2 is apparently bad.
But no.
So I think that's where we were going with that.
I might have one last chance.
But just already, I'm like, yeah, they're just setting up other characters' backstories and making them way too, like, this goes hard. That's why we're pausing to go back, by the way. I think it's probably just them not being able to properly explain out the backstories while making it fully entertaining. Because before, it seems like maybe if it's very character-based, this should have been like the character story quest that we do like off screen, quote unquote. It's like a side quest thing. You don't need to do it as a part of the main story. But Star Rail has been phasing out character story quests because people don't do them as frequently. I've not done a single character story quest in Star Rail since the game started. So I'm part of the problem. I am literally part of the problem there because I haven't done them. Anyways, I don't even do them in beta. I was like, yeah, we'll do that at release, and then I never did it. So I'm part of the problem. Maybe if more of us did story quests for characters, we wouldn't have whatever is going on at 3.2. Because it seems like whatever they did in 3.0 related to probably, I think it was My Day and Finon, their story, as well as like the general world of Amphorius, but like that is par for the course in the first one. But it seems like they're just going in on these characters, and it should have been an email, quite frankly.
One last chance.
This does go hard though. Because I've also seen I've seen some people, like that's really cool. I've seen some people say some things about Castorice and like the implications of her on the game.
New life, Pollux.
I do think it's interesting that her dragon is named Pollux.
I completed the proof you wanted.
Oh, that's I.
As expected. This
Oh my
is
God.
The moment when the flame chase
God.
is the closest to its end. I see.
He's insane, right?
Let the show begin.
Oh,
Straight to the soul.
there's our feeble scholar once again.
An undisputed
We keep doing this, and I keep buying into it every single time, quite frankly.
immortal soul with that.
Oh, see, that's cool. That is cool, and it's giving actually Sumeru a little bit, which is funny because he's back, our feeble scholar. Fusing immortal soul with that of a titan, it reminds me immediately of the arc with Skirmish in Genshin, Sumeru arc, where they are essentially trying to make him a god, even though he's not. It has similar vibes, and I really liked Sumeru, so I could end up really liking this as well. But the issue is, I think that I was very excited when they said they were lengthening the story missions, the Trailblaze missions here with Amphorius, but I'm not sure if they did a great job with that. I think, like I said, they just input the character stories into the main story, and it's not really working out that well. So that could be the problem, is what, just from what I've heard. And I don't know what to say about it.
To replace
This intrigues me though.
is not a ludicrous idea.
I know this is an NPC.
The answer is plain as day.
God, he's so.
Much needed change to this world.
Is that Flame Reaver speaking? Oh my God, he's insane. He's actually insane.
Rest
Whoa!
to death.
Wait, is that Cypher's voice?
I will bring rest
Yes.
to death.
Or is it Cypher, or does Cypher speak in this? Hold on. No, okay, so that is Castorice speaking it. I thought it sounded like Castorice. Okay. Lygus and Empedocles. Okay. Who are you people? Because I thought one of them was Flame Reaver, but is that like the name for Flame Reaver? Whoa.
Will once again flow.
I was like, is that like blood? Yeah, it's blood.
Tongue.
The sky isn't real. Oh my God, it is Genshin.
Sow the seeds of suspicion.
Oh, Castorice got a hug. Good for her. Wait, if she hugged us and we didn't die, I'm assuming that might be a thing that's allowed, because it's like kind of similarly put to how Genshin and Fontaine, right? Farina considers telling us her like big secret thing because we're not of that world, we're not of Tavat. It seems like maybe it's a similar thing, because maybe she just can't hug people of that world, and because I think Amphorius has been closed off for a minute, almost similar to Belobog. That would make sense, right? That makes sense in my brain. So it's like, oh, you're not of this world. Can I have a hug? Like, like maybe that would work.
But it's
Which, like, she deserves a hug.
once lived.
Proof that I once lived. Interesting. Okay, interesting. All right, looks like we're going through event stuff next. Okay. I've heard a lot about Star Rail World being the best flagship event Star Rail has had in, like, a very long time. So I'm very excited to see more about Star Rail World, and that's also why I finally got myself to do this, because I'm like, we gotta see, I have to see what Star Rail World is. I really do. This time a gift prepared by a game developer. It's quite fun, actually, because also this gives like heavy into the vibes we have for like Honkai Impact events. So I'm just so excited for that. Event light cone. Oh, that's cute. By the way, have you thought about my proposal? The Express is not for sale. Oh, is Albert trying to buy out the Express? Seal Slammers. Okay, so here's the thing. I thought Seal Slammers in Star Rail World were the same thing. I thought the seals were in Star Rail World, and that's why I've heard so much. Oh my God, we get a mirror. That's so cute. Oh, that's cute. But I have heard a lot about Seal Slammers. I've seen so much fan art of Blade, the Blade Seal. Yep, specifically the Blade Seal. And that I know Blade comes back. I know that comes back with some of the anniversary updates. So that's so, what is Seal Slammers then? Because I thought, is it just Super Auto Pets Part 2? Oh no. It's like air hockey with seals. Okay, interesting. All right, what is Morning Starlight is a combat event? Why, where did all this, I'm assuming, I guess that 3.1 was just so light event-wise because they were getting everything together for 3.2. I really hope the devs aren't crunching here. Like, I hope that they're actually, like, please take breaks. That's please. Because, I mean, maybe that's why 3.1 was so light then, because they were taking those breaks. I don't know. This is weird. It's weird that this is very sudden, it feels like, you know? Castorice has a butterfly for her ultimate as well, it seems like, which, is Castorice an emanator? Because generally speaking, only emanators have, or like emanator adjacent characters have a different button for their ult. Think Acheron. Is she an emanator? I don't know if she is. Obviously, I haven't gone that far. Intrigued. We didn't have a ton of events, but we did have like 3 times as many events as we had last patch because we literally only had like 1 event last patch. Anyways, let me get to my money shot so I don't have to find it later. While I absorb what we just got here because this was a lot. I have no idea what's going on. Like, honestly, truly, I have no idea what's going on, but I'm multiple patches behind. I'm still in Panaconi. So I should have no idea what's going on. And that actually intrigues me. The fact that I feel like I have no idea what's going on after watching this. Because usually Hoyoverse is pretty like straightforward with what they put in their trailers. And it's like, this is what you're getting. This might spoil it for you. I don't know. But I feel like this time they kept it pretty light. Even just considering the trailer itself is less than 2 minutes long. Because the back half of this past 2 minutes is events and stuff. So interesting. I think that's how you should do a trailer, quite frankly. Okay, speaking of, I have no idea what's going on. Animated short for Castorice, The Long Night of Serenity. This is over 7 minutes long. So we might cry. We might. I don't know if I have the brain power to fully analyze this right now, but we'll go into it. Sure. It's gonna be good. I know it's gonna be good because they got my Hoyo anime team on it. Oh. Oh no, this is really good. I'm always, every time, I'm like expecting, I was expecting like normal Star Rail game style or like something a little bit more fancy. And then they start the short and it's like, oh, this is really good actually. Oh my God. Like you could tell me this was like an actual like animated series and I would believe you. Every time. Oh. So is she, have they got her to use her powers to kill people? Interesting.
I hate these icy hands.
I'm very curious on the lore there though, because like I'm pretty sure the short goes into Castorice grappling with this like power of death thing she has going on. I'm not surprised given other parts of her lore we do know, or I know at this current moment in time. River of Souls bit, like it makes sense. She's a very heavily death-coded character. That doesn't mean she has death flags. It means she is death-coded. It's like part of her characterization. If this was like any other fantasy story, she would be considered like a necromancer of some sort or something like that, you know? Maybe she is in the game. Maybe I clocked that. I don't know. However, I kind of want to know more about like the implications of her having this like power because it seems like Amphorius, someone an Amphorius, might be forcing her to use it for bad things. And that would really affect her mental. Like that really would. Especially if she hates having this power because she can't actually, like she can't have as strong of human ties sort of thing. Now what is this? Why do we have cloaked figures? God, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Oh, it's baby Castorice. You can tell because she's tiny. Oh, is she like a prisoner? Is that what's going on here? And that's why she was forced into... Oh. Oh. This child seems excited, though. Interesting. We got the statues. Okay. A deer.
Get it over with.
Oh.
Suffering.
So she's not a prisoner. But these still is like, they're still like using her. And she hates being used like this because she hates using that magic.
The Reaper has blessed
Oh,
your hands.
blessed your hand. Interesting.
You can
They consider it a blessing, but she thinks it's a curse. Also the gloves. If she's wearing gloves, does it still work? Because like, what's the point of the gloves then? You know, because I would understand like she wears the gloves so she doesn't hurt anyone. Oh, but now she has on thicker gloves, thinking it might work, but it doesn't. Oh no, the baby. poor baby Castorice.
Embrace death. Walk alongside it.
Oh my god. Oh. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Oh, wait, it works. If she holds a dead twig, she can kind of hold hands with the kid. But she's still afraid to. And, I've seen this scene of her doing the little dance on her own because she can't have actual friends. God. That is the, I've seen that scene, that one specifically. Now what is this? What is this leading up to? This gets loud. Oh, poor baby. Poor baby Castorice. I was fully planning on pulling for Anoxa, but maybe I will just pull for Castorice. Even the details, they made her little tips of her ears red. And her fingies. Because it's cold. So she's a bit older now. She's just been doing this her whole life. That would really affect you. We need therapists in Euphorius. That's the point. And we have war, because it's Greco-Roman inspired and there will be war. Oh, God. And she's seen, like, pretty much all of it, probably. God, that sucks. That sucks. This is beautiful, though. I do have to say, like, this was beautifully done. I cannot imagine how long it took them to make this. Jeez. That's why I haven't been getting animated shorts. Oh, her gloves, like, are purple on the tips now.
Is that you, Castorice?
Castorice. It's Castorice. Okay, I've been saying Castorice this whole time. It's Castorice.
Oh!
It's the same girl as before, but she's grown up now.
Summon.
Is it the same lady?
Their domain.
Oh.
I must go too.
She can't do it.
I don't fear it. Just, I have some regrets.
Oh.
Watching people leave this world again and again.
This is the part that hits.
It must be lonely for you.
Yeah, because she, I believe, is immortal in a way.
Just want to
Because I know that some of the Crisis Heirs are immortal and some of them are human.
before they go.
I'm pretty sure Castorice is one of the immortal ones. She does have death powers.
I can't.
Oh.
These hands, they're too cold.
Is she ice? I thought she was quantum. It would have made more sense if she was ice. I'm gonna be so... Oh.
But big sister Castorice.
Yeah, that is the same girl as
Are so
before.
warm,
Oh.
just like anyone else.
Now I'm crying.
So
Oh no.
don't hold back. Give me a warm hug.
Oh, and the voice of the child. But she finally got to hug someone, and it was like her bestie. And there's no baby Castorice. Oh. That's like, must be her dream, right? Oh. Oh, I'm crying. Oh, I'm super crying. Oh no. I knew this was sad, but I didn't think it was gonna make me cry that much. Oh no. Oh, because she can't even, like, animals. She can't even, like, touch an animal. Or, like, ride a horse or something. Oh my god. Oh, and her, like, teaching other kids something. Every flower once bloomed with pride. I'm crying. And it's like a fresh tombstone. Oh. Oh, I'm crying.
Can hands like these really be warm?
Oh. Is the a deer again. It's a metaphor. I know it is. All life, it's like circle of life or something or other. I know it's a metaphor because we started with the deer that she killed and put out of its misery, and then we have the baby deer here. I know it's a metaphor, but oh my god. What the heck? It's like almost 11 o'clock at night and I'm sobbing. Oh my god. You're gonna be sob like that and hit me with a metaphor? All right, we need to move on. We need to move on because I could linger on this. Okay, then we have our haha silly funny the kitchen is a battlefield trailer because there's no full official release to this. This was the April Fool's prank. This is the April Fool's joke. They did like Kitchen Nightmares, but with the Crisis Airs, which is quite funny because I know on the day of, a lot of people were like, I thought this was Cooking with Valkyries season 3 or something. I think season 3 is what would be next. Or is it season 2? I have no idea. I feel like there was 2 seasons, but maybe there wasn't. I don't know. But Cooking with Valkyries is a short animated series they did with Honkai Impact 3rd a couple years back. So it was the funniest thing because this dropped from Honkai Star Rail and people were like, I thought this was Cooking with Valkyries. Oh my god. Which I do think it's funny because there's so many Honkai Impact 3rd references in Amphorius already. I think it's quite funny that we had this was our April Fool's prank. I feel like they knew exactly what they were doing and were like, this would be funny. And it was funny. It wasn't my favorite gacha game April Fool's jokey joke, but I thought it was funny. Mainly just because of how people reacted to it. Anyways, because I also briefly thought it was Cooking with Valkyries. I saw the notification come through and I was like, that's Honkai Impact 3rd, right? No, it was Star Rail. So let's watch this one. I've seen jokes made about this as well, so.
Becoming a chef means offering all of yourself up.
The black cuts are throwing me off a little bit.
Of others.
Like, this is so well done for a joke.
Left standing at the top.
Where wishes are cooked and served on dishes. They rhymed.
If you don't want to succeed me.
God, this is so dramatic. This is so dramatic, but like,
Of
this
course, you just need
it feels like an anime.
everyone. Go create your era.
This is so goofy. Why did she pass out like that? Is that supposed to? I'm sorry. Is that supposed to be is that gonna come back? What are these resumes as well? This is so goofy. This is so. So it's like a cooking school drama.
Aren't you supposed to be the savior of the kitchen?
That does come back, doesn't it? Because doesn't who gets stabbed? Might I just punched Fine onto the face? Which one of them gets stabbed by the other? These things are coming back. Oh my god. Wait, what? Black tides rising, the core flames dying. Why does Okay, you know what? Maybe this should have been one of my favorites.
It could be updated.
Oh man. Is that like, are we gonna get shut down by the health inspector for having Mem in here? This is so goofy.
Grand Restaurant is a better name.
This is so coming this December. Does that mean that they are gonna? I think it would be really goofy if like December 25th, call it a Christmas gift to the player base. They release the actual Grand Restaurant video, like the whole thing. It doesn't even have to be that long. It could be like 5 minutes or less, but like fully flesh out what is being fleshed out here. And that would be so funny. That would be so funny. I think that needs to happen. That would be hilarious. I would like it to happen, actually. I think it would be funny. Quite frankly, it doesn't even need to be that. It's because that's the thing. It's so unserious. It doesn't need to be serious. It doesn't even need to be longer than 5 minutes. It would be funny. Just tack on at the ending to be continued and have this be a running joke, Then next year, April Fools, you release a trailer we have exchange students rocking up. And the exchange students that are rocking up are the characters from the next world. And now they have to compete against each other. Like, that would be so goofy and funny, right? You could keep that gag going for like at least 2 years. Like, you could do it like this year, next year. It might start getting stale at year 3, but it still would be funny enough if you can't think of anything else. I think it'd be funny. Because then year 3, we've now made peace and made friends with the characters from the unknown new world after Amphorius, and surprise, we have another wave of exchange students rocking up, and now we gotta fight together against. You could run this out. You could make this work for a while. I'm just saying. I think our next world is the Fate inspired world though, like the collaboration one, possibly. Is that like a whole world? I don't know. Is there just like an event where I have no idea what they were doing with that? We'll find out when we find out. But I think it would be, they could keep this going for at least like 2 more years post this one. So go to year 3 and it would start getting stale at year 3, but it would still work. You just need to have it be goofy enough. Anyways, going away entirely from things that are goofy, we have, oh, Golden Epic. Do we usually watch these? I think we're going to watch this. The Golden Epic PV related to Castorice, Life Awakens from the Night. Let's just get into this. Let's just get into this. I don't want to cry again. Are Golden Epics what we're getting instead of Myriad Celestia? Interesting, because it concerns me that Hoyoverse is doing the thing they did with Genshin for Natlin, where they've decided to change up how they do marketing, but not really. They just changed the names of the stuff. And I didn't like it when Genshin did it, and I'm not going to like it if Star Rail does it, also because Myriad Celestia was a nice name. It was pretty, and I liked it. So, Golden Epic.
Once wished to leave
This is
behind
loud.
a snowflake for her.
Oh, this is a continuation of the animated short. Okay. Because she says she wants to leave behind a snowflake for her. She's at the grave of her bestie that passed away. Reaching out, I beg of you, please, don't dwell in that fleeting moment between a touch and farewell. Is that like a sonnet or something? I'd be curious. I'm not a poetry person, but I do know like the poetry conventions. I know I'm not a poetry person because I hated it doing it in school. And as much as I can dig apart like stories, like bigger stories, poetry has always been pretty difficult for me. However, I'd be curious to like look at that because this has to be like a sonnet or like something like that. Like there has to be some sort of literary convention here to set this up. And I'm just thinking like, how would like something like the Odyssey or the Iliad, like, because what is like the like things that are based in Greek mythology? I would like to look into that more, but I probably won't.
Shape of life.
Oh. Yeah, this is a continuation.
Lasts for but a moment, but the cold is endless.
Oh.
Like how
I like the music in this as well.
Hometown.
Oh,
Now
her
sleeps sound.
hometown worships death. Interesting. That's actually quite interesting. I'm very curious to learn more about that specifically because again, the mythology of it all.
In the blizzard of the long night.
So when someone is close to passing, it seems like they do just
Like
put them
how
out of their
the
misery,
ocean,
essentially.
haunted by trickery, stirred up stormy waves.
Ocean is also a proper noun here, and sky as well. Okay. I thought they were going to do something with like Oceanus or something like that, but no.
Blood and tears. The titans who suffocated the world.
They're just
will
using them as
also
proper nouns.
eventually enter death's embrace.
I mean, yeah, they do.
You don't know why life.
The Titans enter Death's embrace. So it seems like they are doing something very similar to like what you do actually see in actual Greek mythology, where the gods take down the Titans, but the Titans are the gods in this case. And I think the Titan gods or something are going to be taken up by the Chrysos heirs in some way.
As the butterfly of the nether realm.
And it seems like Castorice as well is going to have a big part in that.
Thirsty blade.
Maybe because she does want revenge for essentially being cursed with these death powers.
I am death.
It said it, there's 2 lines at once there. I am death and you are death. Interesting.
So, in the land of death, I dare not look at the garden of life.
Oh.
I fear that promises may be broken after they're made.
She really needs therapy.
May follow after a
I know that this is like a sad moment, but like,
eternal farewell.
God.
May follow an embrace.
Can we break her death curse and just give her a hug?
It's better to have stayed in place and never had anything at all.
Oh.
Even so,
Oh.
death is not the end. Towards
Aglaya,
toward that
okay.
distant tomorrow, we make a promise.
So is she like,
This journey
is she like Chrysos heir numero uno in a way?
See you. We'll meet again on the shores of the West Wind.
Oh. Oh. Oh, why do these all feel and look like dying wishes? Oh God. Hold on. Circle back.
Death is not the end.
No, this seems like final words.
Tomorrow, we make a promise.
What's gonna happen in it?
Chase journey won't end.
Listen, played a decent amount of Honkai Impact 3rd, right? Played a decent amount of it. Oh, okay. Spoiler alert, but also not really, because it's kind of common knowledge if you're not a Honkai Impact player. All the flame chasers die, except for like a handful of them. Kevin, Fuhua, that might be it. I guess Grisio technically also survives, but she comes back later because she gets poofed up into space. That's a whole other thing. Grisio, yeah, she does survive. Okay. Think that's it. I'm going down the list in my brain. I think that's it. Yeah. Think that's it. I know I'm missing somebody, but that's all I can think of off the top of my head right now. Most of them die. Most of them die. Just think of that. Just remember that, right? Seeing this now makes me scared that this is a foreshadowing the end of Amphorius in the same way that everyone dies except for a handful of people. If Phynon lives again, dear God, which would make full sense if that's what happened. Because I was curious, even going into this, how it was going to mirror, how the Flame Chase journey was going to mirror the Flame Chasers from Honkai Impact 3rd. And I'm getting scared. I'm getting scared looking at this. Because some of these characters do have like direct opposites or like counterparts in Honkai. I'm not even saying they're necessarily XPs or variants. Variants is probably the closest word, but like some of them do have direct one-to-ones where it's like, oh yeah, so-and-so is supposed to be reminiscent of so-and-so. Some of the characters are not as clear cut, but I mean, God, I'm scared. I'm getting scared.
See you.
Because Tribi is not, the Tribis don't have one specifically. Some people have made jokes that Tribi is like the daughter of Vilvi, hypothetically. Not even like the daughter, but like in spirit. Because they both have like grenades. Anaxa is supposed to be reminiscent of Su, so it's like, yeah, he dies. So I'm just like, God, I'm scared. I'm getting scared. This is also a beautiful shot, and I didn't know this is where it came from, and I love it. Thank you. Beautiful. This is art. Okay, now there's 4 characters here, and they're all talking over each other. Phynon, Maide, Hyacinth, and I almost called her Pardo, fellas. I almost said Pardo. Cypher. There's 2, I need the full subtitles though. If you're gonna overlay voices like that, I need you to layer the subtitles as well. You can do that. You're allowed to do that, I'm pretty sure, on YouTube. You can put in as much as you want text-wise. I need all the subtitles to know what's happening here. Because there's the golden blood will not be shed in vain. True death is not death itself. Okay, they do have all the subtitles, but they just are back to back to back very quickly. True death is not death itself, but abandoning one's honor. I'm assuming that one's from Phynon. Rainbow light will eventually pierce through the Evernight and dawn will bloom again. Hyacinth. And then why so serious has to be Cypher. Just treat it like a game with death. It makes me think that they're not going to directly mirror the Flame Chaser story from Honkai Impact 3rd, and I actually would like that. Because hypothetically, the Flame Chase journey and then the story of the Flame Chasers in Honkai Impact, it almost seems like it's like the same beginning of a story if it went in a different direction with a different ending, if that makes sense. So the story is given the same sort of, it has different characters, but some of them are similar, obviously. It's given the same sort of stipulations to grow, and then it took a different turn because we're in a different setting, circumstances are different, and this is the new outcome. Because some of the, like, there's certain things missing. Maide has a bunch of arrows in his back, but he can't die, so there's that. Okay, Hyacinth does have her face. I was like, is her face missing? Because none of these characters look like dead, you know? Because like Maide can't die, so we're on that one. But maybe that's the point, is they don't need to be. Maybe? I don't know. The big sword, though, is doing numbers. You are not beating the Kevin allegations today, sir.
Come with us.
Oh. So they, oh, okay, come with us from Aglaia. They are all dead, and Castorice is the only one to survive this. Or it's like her worst fear that all of her friends or all the other heirs are going to die, and she's the only one that's left because she can't die. But also Maide can't die, and I think Castorice can die. I don't know. Because they're setting this up like Castorice is also like cannot die. She's immortal and cannot die.
You will be able to testify for yourself.
Oh. Like testify in the way of, like testifying in front of death sort of thing, I think is what they're getting at.
Be like all of you.
Oh.
Embrace the world.
Yeah, because she's so closed off from the world.
So that the souls of the
But you know who can't die?
longer weep.
Maide.
The city bells.
At least give him a handshake or something. Come on,
Even
Maide.
if it's just once. I I want to use these hands.
Oh, is that a heart? Where did the heart come from? Oh, Stella!
To give a wilted flower
Oh. Oh!
new life.
Hey, so that's the Stellaron, right? What happens with our Stellaron? Has it been too long? Are the consequences of our actions finally coming to bite us in the butt? Because we took that Stellaron and we're just like, yeah, sure, it's fine. No, it could go wrong. We die too. Oh my god, that's actually quite cool. But we took it too far and now it's coming back to bite us in the butt.
Even if the snow
Oh.
eventually melts, I hope you will leave behind a snowflake for me.
How beautiful. That was nice. I don't know. We'll look at Castorice's kit. I might, the content catch up, we managed to do in 2 parts because I have every single video we've watched. So we managed to do a reaction half and then a yap half, where the yap half will be like patch notes and stuff like that, because I know I'm probably gonna have a bunch to say about that too. And I do want to dig into that immediately after, because that's the way we're gonna talk mostly about the anniversary stuff, because that it's all on Hoyolab and stuff. So we'll talk about that there. There's gonna be 2 different content catch ups then. Just putting that out there because I've been doing this for 41 minutes and I still have Castorice's trailer to watch. So also in the other one, we'll go through the Amazon store update and everything. So Castorice's trailer, they did it in the weird widescreen format that I hate. I hate this format because then it crops weird and I don't like it. Epitaph. So yeah. Oh, this is fun. The VA for, I want to say Polyshia and then Polyzia. I have no idea how we're saying this. It's the same VA for another character whose name I don't know how to say. Aha, I think, in Genshin. Kinichi's little dragon. It would have been really funny if they voiced Pollux, because then that would be 2 dragons under your belt. That would be really funny, but it's fine. All right, Epitaph, let's go. 3 minutes. I'm gonna lower the volume on that. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, what did that say? And they're doing the written thing again. It seems like, oh, funeral, okay. It seems like writing might be something that comes up again and again with Castorice, which if you live that long and have no form of like human communication through touch and things like that, I feel like compensating in another way would make sense, and maybe she writes
406.
to have something like physical, you know?
The cabinets are overflowing with the unclaimed possessions.
Like, that'd be really
of the
cool.
dead.
Oh.
In the silence.
This is really,
as if
how they
the
did this is really
memories
cool.
of the departed.
Like, it's giving the same vibe of that one Raiden Shogun trailer they did for Genshin that was like edited like insane, but this is a much softer version of that because that just fits Castorice better. She is a much softer character for reasons. The reasons being she's highly traumatized, and it's very apparent here. Please get this girl a therapist.
Funeral 562.
She could do wonders
Dreamed of a sea of flowers.
if she had a
Racing
therapist.
river coursing through it.
Obviously, that's not going to help everything, but
All I can do is
ferry the souls of the dead. So almost like I believe a Charon sort of way?
74. The war rages
Interesting.
on, and death surges like a dark wave.
This is getting really intense, really fast.
My only choice is to run with all I have until
Oh, wow. Beautiful shot. There's that River of the Dead. Wow.
death. Once
All right.
hands
Okay.
has also split us in two, never to touch each other again.
Okay.
This journey
What's
has
with the
been
egg,
so
right?
endless,
That's an egg, right?
senseless.
Oh, hey, what was that?
This journey
What
has
was
been
that?
So endless.
Okay, that's a boss.
So
What was that? Most replayed. I'm sorry, this being the most replayed section, we're all like, hey, what was that? What was that? Are we gonna talk about that? What was that? Oh, that literally is the most replayed section.
each other again.
I am nothing if not predictable. I've never had a unique experience ever, apparently. All right, hold on. We'll
So endless. So
who is that? Hold on. We're going to 0.25 playback speed. I'm muting it so it doesn't sound demented. But we have to go back. Who is this? Who is this? Is that the friend? No, that can't be the friend. Or it looks like evil Castorice. Evil Castorice in black and white. We took away Castorice's pink and made it monotone. Like you put Castorice in Photoshop and just took like the slider for like red on the saturation bit panel or whatever the heck panel does that, and just put it all the way down. I shouldn't be laughing about this. I really shouldn't. Castorice is going through a lot. I'm making jokes about how they took away her pinks. They normified her.
so senseless. Yet even on the cold shore
Oh my gosh.
will still be the scent of flowers.
Nice. Oh, what's coming out of the egg? Is it her? Is this like a new beginnings metaphor? Oh my god, I love Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact, but opposite, because it's coming from the different direction. I shouldn't be joking about this. She's going through a lot. Oh, interesting. It looks like the mechanic, or at least the hypothetical mechanic for Pollux, is actually similar to Maze Dragon in Honkai Impact, which is quite interesting there. Because it seems similar, but obviously the combat's not going to be similar because it's different combat. I just like the beam of not fire necessarily coming from the dragon. Really cool though. We will have to talk about her kit eventually.
New life.
Considering we've kind of just all gone through Castorice's stuff, I think we will go through her kit in this video, and that'll be the end of it. So I'll have to open that up on Hoyo Lab because I do want to talk about it in this video. Because I think it's mostly relevant. This is really pretty. Hi, Pollux. Oh, now what was that? Oh, wait, what is this? What is going on? Because that's not the girl from before. Okay, so this is Castorice's hand, obviously. And then this is the egg lady? In a wheelchair. What is happening? Like, who is this? I guess they're not evil Castorice? Why do they have blocks for feet? It's very simple, the model here. And I don't know if that's like, they ran out of time or it's supposed to be like fleeting memories sort of thing. What is happening? Who are you? Who are you? I'm so curious. Because there was another voice in this. Oh, the dancing. I actually did see that point. Okay, that's the figure. I did see it pointed out. The little dance she does here is the same one she was doing as a kid in her bedroom. And I mean, it's short. There's so many callbacks with all the marketing materials for Castorice. I think that's so cool. I know Hoyo is like super hard carrying. Like they really are pushing Castorice. That's like the character they're pushing with the anniversary. And we'll get to that in a second. That's why I kind of want to go over her kit and stuff because there's a new mechanic being introduced to the game. And I do want to point that out because I know that there's been a lot of mixed feelings about it. And I was actually not originally planning on pulling for Castorice. One, because I really want Anoxa. And two, because I don't love the game meta mechanic change they've done with the release of Castorice. I think it's going to be kind of detrimental to the game. And so I was like, I'm just not going to pull so they don't do this again. Because if like not enough people pull, they just won't do it again. But I'm assuming a lot of people have pulled for Castorice, and I honestly truly might switch and pull for her instead of Anoxa, or just try and pull for both of them and see whoever comes home. Because as much as I love Anoxa, I really like Castorice as well now. Like I feel like I've been convinced. But this must be the other voice in her trailer. But I'm like, who are you? Do they both have dragons, or is that Pollux's wing? That looks like a wing talon thing. Okay, that's not like a head. Similar shapes, but I'm curious what is about to happen. Again, they put so much effort into this marketing for Castorice. Oh, the broken moon. Interesting. Oh, she had a twin! So did she, like, kill her twin because the death power? That's how she found out she had the death powers? Oh, that's messy. Get this girl a therapist.
Don't forget.
Oh my god. Oh, and also, yeah, this is her scythe. Wow. Wow. Okay. Castorice, get this girl a therapist, please. Somebody. We gotta have a therapist somewhere in Euphorius, please. I like how that was the most replayed. Or it might have been the most replayed is when they do the money shot. That might have been it. I think it's this whole bit because it starts at like 106 and goes all the way to 113 with this shot. We all have one brain cell, guys. It's okay. But again, I'm gonna end on my money shot. Wow. That was a lot, guys. All right, let's look at her kit and then we'll call it a day and we'll go through everything else in a different video because if I don't do it that way, this video is gonna be 2 hours long and that's like a lot of stuff. Anyways, okay, so the original idea was I was gonna start like here and just go up all the way, but we actually do just need to look at Castorice's kit in this video. So ignore all the anniversary related stuff. We'll get there eventually. Where's her kit? Castorice, please. Oh, is this it? Character preview for Castorice? Sure, that might be it. We could just watch Keeping Up with Starveral, but that's a lot. because there was something else with a really pretty art somewhere, and I can't find it now. Where was it? I'm gonna do all this scrolling. This one. The touch that life cannot bear. Oh, that's the just more info about her. Okay, we'll watch. We don't need to do that because I really want to just talk about her kit. And then we'll do the more anniversary focused stuff in a separate video because there's just too much stuff and I am late to the party. So pay no attention to this stuff. We'll start there. Okay, so this is, yeah, she's Quantum. I thought she was Quantum, which also makes sense. Quantum, it makes sense, I guess. I feel like Ice would have made more sense, but we already have Trailblazer's Ice, so I guess that's how they did that. I don't know, because Remembrance Trailblazer's Ice, whatever, because she's Remembrance Quantum. All right, she's a DPS who fights alongside her summoned Memo Sprite Netherwing Pollux, the dragon. I guess they don't have dragons. I guess they're called Netherwings. Interesting. Okay, the more HP consumed, the higher the damage. So almost like a destruction character, but not, because she has a Memo Sprite, so they made her Remembrance instead. I don't know if I love that angle, just because all of our main DPSs in this game tend to be destruction characters. Like, there's a lot of destruction characters. Destruction meta being, like, destruction is essentially the thing where you take character, and in order for them to make big damage number go boom boom, take something from someone else, sometimes themselves. So like Imbibitor Lune eats all your skill points. Blade eats all his own health. I think what is it? Jinglo eats your teammates' health. Like, it's something. It's always something. But those damage numbers go crazy. So it's almost like she's destruction and remembrance. So it's like not even a new mechanic. They just are like, yeah, we'll call her remembrance so that people don't be like, okay, it's just another destruction character. When really it's just another, the more HP consumed, the higher the damage. Consumes its own HP to deal damage. This is just destruction in a different font. But they're like, well, she has a Memo Sprite, so she can be remembrance. What? I don't like it. I don't. Because I am of the opinion, give us interesting kits, mechanics, etc. This is not interesting. It's just destruction in a different font. I'm losing it. Anyways, in combat, Netherwing can also take damage for endangered allies. Sure, fine. I hate it. I was through the marketing material, I was convinced to pull for her, and now I'm not again. But Thanatos is here apparently. Oh my god, what is happening? Hold on, let's just open the images big, and then we'll zoom in and scroll through. We all can see it, nice and large. Can I make it any bigger? Like how big is too big? This is probably fine. Can we all see? Good. I can't, okay, no, we can't make it that big because it won't let me scroll to the top of the image now. Like it's stuck here. Probably because I have the page zoomed in and of itself. So we'll just do that. But the affiliated city is unknown in Idonia, and her divine authority is Thanatos. Which actually, this one does make sense because some of the divine authorities, they're just picking names for these characters. Because like, I know another one of them is Zagreus, and that's they gave Zagreus. Zagreus is an actual Greek deity. If you've ever played Hades, you know this. But like, Zagreus was not just a character created for Hades, right? He was an actual character in Greek mythology. Not a huge one, but he was there. Thanatos, I would argue, is a much bigger pillar of Greek mythology, so it makes total sense that they would follow that one. Thanatos being the god of death. A lot of times that's attributed to Hades, not the case. Hades just runs the place. He doesn't actually oversee the dying. That's Thanatos. So Thanatos being the divine authority for Castorice makes total sense. Because this unnamed affiliated city, essentially, it seems like the underworld, kind of, in a way. We have the River of Souls, River Styx sort of vibe, you know? Like, it makes sense. And I'm happy they kept that one, because some of them, they just were picking names. They're like, yeah, that's cool. That's a cool Greek deity name. Let's change the meaning entirely. At least they kept that one, you know? That's a big one. If they had changed that one, I would have clowned on it for a while, probably. Because, like, I forget what Zagreus is, like, the god of in actual Greek mythology, because my brain has been fried by Hades the game. However, Thanatos has Thanatos is the god of death. Like, that's his whole thing. It's this whole bit. So, like, you gotta keep that one. Because also earlier on, I said that Castorice is giving a little bit of a Charon vibe. She ferries the souls of the dead sort of thing. And Thanatos is directly involved in that. So, makes sense. We have our greetings and stuff. It's my habit to keep distance from others. Oh, poor baby. Somebody please give her a therapist. We have our idol animation. Cutie. The butterflies are very pretty. At the very least, she can touch butterflies, I guess, which is nice. I love that for her. She deserves something. Oh, and she can interact with Pollux as well, so that's something. Okay. Because that's Pollux coming out of the void. That's an insane idol animation. Because also she gets these flowers on the ground. This is gonna kill some phones. Like, some people's phones are not going to survive this character. Basic attack and skill. All right. Watch them not even mention the meta thing in this. All right. Anyways, basic attack and skill. It doesn't say which one's the basic attack and which one's the skill, but just based on other things, we can kind of assume. So the basic attack is Lament Nether Sea's Ripple. Deals quantum damage to one designated enemy and inflicts a certain percentage of quantum damage to adjacent targets. Okay, understandable. So it's a single target, obviously, but it also has a bounce, which is, again, they're just changing it up because every other character in Star Rail, their basic attack is a single target attack on one guy, no bounce. But this has bounce, inflicts a certain percentage of damage to adjacent targets. They're just, like, if we want to talk about power creep, Castorice is the most power creeping character of all the power creeping characters in this game. What is happening? It almost makes me think they did her dirty a little bit because this is like, some players are gonna have like a certain amount of animosity towards this. Free-to-play players especially. I consider myself generally free-to-play. I haven't spent money since the Imbibitor Lunae incident. And that wasn't even my money. So I haven't spent money on this game since the Imbibitor Lunae incident. I would have for Sunday, but I got lucky. Like, this is gonna, because it's gonna, there's already a sentiment in this game where if you don't have XYZ new characters, if you don't have all the shiny new characters and spend all the money to get all of them, you can't clear endgame content. And I have experienced that firsthand, because I also refuse to pull for every single character. I'm only pulling for the ones I like the most. And again, another thing with combat is that it is so like repetitive, it feels like, with Star Rail, and you can just auto clear it in the background a lot of the times. That is the one downside to auto clear combat, an idle game sort of combat. It can get very stale. And I see maybe the argument that you could make that they're trying to switch it up with a character like Castorice, but they're not really doing it in a great way. Because this is just not gonna end. It's not gonna bode well for the game itself, I feel like. And there's more to this argument that will come up later when we get to the other parts of her kit. And that's why I wanted to do this in this video, because we already went over all of her marketing stuff. We now need to look at her kit and be like, okay, here's what's actually going on. We saw all the shiny marketing. Here's what's actually going on here. And I get that they're pushing Castorice and doing all the shiny, pretty marketing because it is a new mechanic and they want to push that. But it's just, because if it was only one thing, I'd be like, okay. The basic attack being different really gets me, because it's every single time we go through a kit. I'm like, the huge, this is the basic attack, it's the huge, we all know what happens here. Not today! I'm curious if they'll put the bounce, they'll like list out the bounce in her kit description at release, which if she has released, so we could actually go in the game and look at it, but that will be in the actual patch video. That'll be a separate video. It'll not be the next Star Rail video, but the one after that most likely. Okay, I spent so long talking about her attack. Her skill, Silence Wraithfly's Caress. Consumes a set percentage of all allies' current HP, deals quantum damage equal to a set percentage of Castorice's max HP, so she scales up HP, as well as the HP of your teammates essentially, but mostly it seems like your allies will need a good amount of HP as well as Castorice, sort of thing. But Castorice, the stat you're looking for, is most likely HP, which makes sense for a character that is very death. I will say that. I love a death-coded character that uses health and healing and HP as a mechanic in their kit. So hypothetically, I should love Castorice. She has a scythe also. I should hypothetically love her, but it's just, I can't get around. I can't get it. Okay, if current HP is insufficient, this ability will reduce HP to 1, similar to Blade, who is a destruction character. If Netherwig is on the battlefield, the skill becomes Bone Claw Doomdrake's Embrace instead, and it's not explained what that is, but maybe in the next slide. Yes, her enhanced skill. So her enhanced skill then is when Pollux, they keep saying Netherwing. I'm calling them Pollux. They have a name. Pollux. This is when Pollux is on the field specifically. So this one consumes a set percentage of all allies' current HP, except Pollux. It does not consume Pollux's HP. Pollux is chillin'. Castorice and Pollux launch a joint attack on the target and deal quantum damage based on a set percentage of Castorice's max HP to all enemies. Yes. So again, same thing. If current HP is insufficient, using the ability will reduce HP to 1. Yes. Very similar mechanic to Blade, which, yes, it makes sense that they would repeat that mechanic because they are both characters. Like, Blade can't die either. He's also cursed by the narrative. So, like, it makes sense. But I would be fine with it if she was a destruction character, but she's not. She's a remembrance character. So what is remembrance almost feels like, I was talking about this earlier in a vlog, right? That will eventually go up. The whole idea of romantasy as a genre irks me because it's just, it's not, there's no set stipulations for it. People are like, oh, well, it's a romantic fantasy story that has elements where if you were to remove the fantasy from the story, it would barely affect the story. Whereas romantic fantasy is if you were to remove the romance from the fantasy story, it wouldn't affect the story. But then you actually read books that are classified as romantasy and it doesn't even follow those stipulations. It's just all over the place. So it's like, what are we doing? That's how this feels. Because what is Remembrance? Quite frankly, what is it? It's like the shiny new marketing label they pulled out to market this new thing. Like what? The Remembrance path is just romantasy. They both start with an R. They both make no sense to me. Hypothetically, it should be very cut and dry, but it's not. I'm getting very heated over this. But also, what did you expect from me? What is this joint attack? Multiple targets respectively use attacks on enemy targets in one action. Sure, fine, whatever, cool. Her ult, Doom Shriek Dawn's Chime. It's very cool, the animation. It's really, really cool, all right? I replayed this a couple of times watching the trailer just now. It's very cool, but it seems like you're probably going to want to run this ultimate quite early because what it says here this summons Pollux essentially. So to have Pollux on the field is when you get the enhanced skill. You want to run her ult pretty quickly. So I'm assuming you'll probably want her ult up frequently because again, I'm also assuming she does more damage when Pollux is on the field. So you might want like a Tingyun or something with her. Like OG Tingyun, not new Tingyun. Yeah. But summons Pollux and advances his action by 100% at the same time, creates the territory Lost Netherland, not Neverland, Netherland. Okay. Which decreases all enemies, all type resistance. Okay. A good buff. If the damage boost effect from Castorice's talent is active, the effect is extended to Pollux. Pollux also has a set amount of speed and a set max HP equal to a certain percentage of max new bud. I'm assuming new bud is one of Castorice's. Are they called talents in this game? No. The tree, the skill tree. It's something on there. I forget what it's called right now. After Pollux acts a set amount of times, or when its HP is 0, it disappears and dispels the territory. No, it dispels Netherland. Okay, I'm gonna call that Neverland more than once, just so we're all on the same page. I'm assuming that is what it's a reference to. The Lost Netherland is a reference to Neverland, like the Lost Boys, things like that, which looking into that, I don't think that's necessarily Greek mythology related. It's just like a standard fairy tale. But like referencing that with Castorice makes sense because she is also cursed by the narrative. We have our Memo Sprite skills then. Okay. So Claw Spits the Veil, deals minor quantum damage based on a set percentage of Castorice's max HP to all enemies. All right. Cool. Oh my god. Guys, I'm reading because immediately when the dragon was called Pollux, I was like, oh, Castor and Pollux. Where's Castor? Guys, it just hit me. An hour and 8 minutes into recording. It just hit me. I have to take a drink of my lemonade. Hold on. That's it. End the video. We're done. That's it. No more. Kidding. But it took me that long. And I've known Pollux is the dragon's name for at least a couple of days now. I'm about to get up and take a lap around my that's yeah. All right. All right, the other one, Breath Scorches the Shadow. There's a lot of stuff here. Activating Breath Scorches the Shadow will consume a set percentage of Pollux's max HP to deal quantum damage based on a set percentage of Castorice's max HP to all enemies. In one attack, Breath Scorches the Shadow can be activated repeatedly, with the damage multiplier increasing respectively up to their limits. That's insane. The damage multiplier boost effect will not be reduced before Pollux disappears. When Pollux's current HP is less than or equal to a certain percentage, activating the ability will reduce HP to 1 and then trigger the ability effect equal to that of the Memo Sprite talent, Wings Sweep the Ruins. Which one's Wings Sweep the Ruins? Is this a new one? Yeah, it's a new one. Okay, so we have a couple of talents here then for Pollux. Moon Cocoon shrouds the form. When Pollux is on the field, it acts as a backup for allies. When allies take damage or consume HP, their current HP can be reduced down to a minimum of 1, after which Pollux will consume HP at a certain proportion or the original value until Pollux disappears. So maybe you could run her, do like a double DPS situation with her and Blade. I feel like I've seen people running this, and that would make sense. Because, I mean, because it would be characters that consume their HP as well. Maybe with Jinglo as well. I wonder how that would work. Because again, with the double DPS situation, I've also seen people running her with Maevely, because he also consumes his own HP, but he's a destruction character. Anyways, next is Roar Rumbles the Realm. Say that 5 times fast. When Pollux is summoned, increases damage dealt by all allies for a certain number of turns. Damage buff, essentially. Then we have Wings Sweep the Ruins, which was the thing from before. When Pollux disappears, it deals a certain number of instances of quantum damage based on a set percentage of Castorice's max HP to one random enemy, while also restoring HP based on Castorice's max HP for all allies. Okay, understandable, yeah. Traces, that's the thing I was trying to think that weren't talents before. Traces. So this backup thing is that enemies cannot actively target backup units. Allies blast type abilities cannot blast to backup units. I'm gonna have to see that in practice. That makes no sense in my brain. We have our talent, and I'm curious if this is the thing. I'm not sure. We're just gonna have to go through these normally. Okay, so we're on talent. We're on talent right now. Okay. Have her running with Treeby, it looks like. Beautiful animation, I will say that. With the butterflies. All right, Desolation Across Palms. Max Newbud, which is that? It's not a trace. What is it? We'll see your traces in a second. Newbud is based on all characters' levels on the battlefield. So Castorice is not a newbie-friendly character, it seems like, because it's based on character levels. So hypothetically, you need all your characters to be max level when running Castorice, essentially, to get the most out of her kit. So yeah, not newbie friendly. I don't necessarily want to say that she's not free to play friendly, but I don't think she is, quite frankly. Just looking at her, because characters that are like these insane like power creep units tend to not be the most free to play friendly. Just gonna say it. All right. Anyways, I don't think we're gonna go through her Eidolons today, but whoo boy. So for each point of HP lost by all allies, Castorice gains 1 point of Newbud, and when Newbud reaches its maximum, Castorice's ultimate can be used. Okay, so I'm assuming then that she would not work with Tingyun. Earlier I said that you probably would want Tingyun so you could have Pollux on the field at all times. It's not gonna work that way because you need to have characters that eat their own HP, which is why she probably works so well with Maide. I'm assuming if you don't have Maide, store-bought is fine. Use Blade. That might work. It might work. Possibly also Jinglo, but Jinglo consumes other characters' HP, not her own. I think she can consume her own, but mainly it's other characters. So I would be curious to see that, and I can't think of any other characters that consume their own HP off the top of my head. When allies lose HP, Castorice's and Pollux's damage dealt increase. Okay. This effect can stack up to a limit lasting for a certain number of turns. The fact that they're not specific on that limit or the certain number of turns does make me think there's a possibility for that to change based on her Eidolons, but we'll see that. Obviously, that's like that can be proven wrong immediately because that information is readily available. When Pollux is then on field, Newbud cannot be gained via its talent, and HP lost by all allies except Pollux will be converted to an equal amount of HP for Pollux. Okay, sure, whatever. Then Sanctuary of Moon Cocoon, which was also mentioned with the Memo Sprite talent Moon Cocoon shrouds the form. So Sanctuary of Moon Cocoon then, after obtaining Castorice, this is the thing. After obtaining Castorice, or when Castorice is in the current team, receive the following effect. This means so long as you have Castorice on your account, you get this buff, and that's what I don't like. Anyways, in battle, when an ally character receives a killing blow, all ally characters that received a killing blow in this action enter the Moon Cocoon state. Characters in Moon Cocoon temporarily delay becoming downed and can take actions normally. After the action, if their current HP increases or gains the shield effect before their next turn, Moon Cocoon is removed. Otherwise, they'll be downed immediately. This effect can be triggered one time per battle. So think almost like how we have certain buffs in things like Simulated Universe. That's basically what this is. And you don't even need to have Castorice on your current, because it says when Castorice is in the current team. No, after obtaining Castorice. So you just need to pull one copy of her. You never even have to build her. You can just have her on your account and let her sit there and you get a buff. And that specifically is what I don't like. That's where the power creepiness really comes in, because that, like, if you can't get Castorice, because I said with Genshin, the most recent Genshin update, right, that a lot of people are acting like if you don't pull for Veressa, suddenly the game becomes unplayable, and that sucks. Upon actually getting in game and trying Veressa, I was like, no, she just has a little bit of a different movement mechanic, but all the Natlan characters had that. People said the same thing when maevely released, and obviously they didn't do anything. So all that is to say, the fuss people were putting up when Veressa was teased and had trailers and people were seeing her kit for the first time and all that, I think that's the actual energy people should be looking at this with, because this is an actual game breaking. If you don't have this character, your game is functionally unplayable to a certain degree. That's what this is. And if they keep doing that, because at first I was like, oh, it's no big deal. But the more I think about it, that's what this is. And if we keep getting characters that have these sort of off-field buffs, it's a cool mechanic, but it would be a cool mechanic if it was a character that wasn't a banner 5-star. You're probably gonna have to pull to get the character, because we don't get 4 stars anymore. It's just a whole thing. And I'm like, I am bamboozled, confuzzled, whatever you want to say by it. That's what I was really getting at when I said earlier that she is the most power creeping character of all the power creeping characters. This is what I meant. And having the basic attack also be a little bit different with the bounce was like just icing on top of the cake, quite frankly. And I just thought about the cake I have in my fridge and now I want it, but it's almost midnight. Oh my God. Anyways, yeah, that's what I really want to talk about with the kit. We have her technique though. Whale Death's Herald. After using her technique, enters the Nether Veil state that lasts for a certain. I also want to keep the GIF on because it's actually quite cute. Lasts for a certain duration. While Nether Veil is active, enemies are unable to actively approach Castorice. So this is her overworld effect, I believe. So it's similar, it actually seems like it might be quite similar to the skill technique we have with Sela, where she can turn invisible. Them both being quantum, that actually makes sense. And I actually want more characters in this game where I can just use my technique and run past characters and don't have to fight them and can just kind of keep going with the story. So I actually do like her technique. I will say that. I think we need more characters that have like techniques where you can kind of just cheat the narrative a little bit. And you know what? Castorice having a technique that lets her cheat the narrative a little bit makes sense. She deserves that. She's been cursed by this damn narrative. Give her a little bit of a cheat day, I guess. But at the same time, summons the Memo Sprite Netherwing. So this summons Pollux as well, so you can go into battle with Pollux. Advances his action, I'm assuming Pollux's action, and deploys the territory Lost Netherland. Pollux has its current HP equal to a certain percentage of max Newbud, and after entering battle, consumes a certain percentage of the current HP of all allies, except Pollux. So, similar bit. If Pollux is not summoned after entering battle, Castorice gains Newbud by an amount equal to a certain number of max Newbud. Okay, understandable. We have the traces. I'm not going to go too in-depth into all of our traces because we don't usually do that here, and that's actually the last slide. So, that was her character info. That was what I really wanted to get into, the power creepiness of it all. I don't know how they plan to go about this because they released 2 new characters this patch. But essentially, you are kind of almost being forced into pulling for Castorice if you care about meta at all. And I don't even necessarily care about meta, but to a certain degree, I would like to clear the end game, quite frankly. I'd like to be able to play the game, because also they've released some bosses in this game that are quite difficult, I will say. And you need certain characters in certain team compositions to be able to clear them. And that also makes me a little bit scared, I'm gonna be honest. So yeah, I feel like it's just like, they're creating this almost like this animosity towards a character that doesn't need to be there if they didn't power creep them so much. And it's unfortunate because Castorice is very, very pretty. I really, really like her narrative and her lore and all that. And any other like circumstance, I would have loved her. But the fact that they, you know, but I mean, I probably will pull, even though I was saving for Anoxa at this point, and I'll just have to wait for a rerun for him. But I feel like they're really pushing Castorice, probably because of the new mechanic, and they want to see how well it does. But I almost feel like it's going to skew the numbers a little bit, because they did some really good marketing for Castorice, aside from even mentioning how her kit changes. So it concerns me a little bit in the fact that a lot of like casual players are gonna come in, pull for Castorice, and they're gonna be like, oh, look, everyone loved Castorice and her new mechanic. We're gonna do this again. And it's like, please don't. I'm begging you, please don't. If you're gonna do the off-field mechanics again, do it on a 4-star. Do it on a character that is more accessible to the entire player base. Because this just seems like a little bit of a cash grab. And that's unfortunate because I don't think that Castorice is a cash grab. I wish that she got the respect she deserved and didn't feel like a cash grab, quite frankly. But yeah, that's that's where I stand on Castorice. This extended the time of the video by like over 20 minutes. So I wanted to talk about her kit in this video just because we did a lot of, like, we looked at all the pretty marketing. Let's actually get into this and talk about it, you know? Because they did the pretty marketing for a reason. They also, funnily enough, released this on April Fool's Day. You've got to be kidding me. Please tell me it's a prank, bro. All right, we will end here though. That is the part 1 of the content catch-up for version 3.2. I know I probably shouldn't record the other video right now, but I might. That one probably is shorter though, so I probably will do both right now, and we'll just a lot of yapping tonight. But yeah, it's a much happening with this patch. It is the anniversary patch, but I just like, I think it's unfortunate. Like, I'm upset because I say this all the time. When I criticize or say negative things about the games I play, it's because I do want them to be better and do better. And not just games. This has come up recently with some other stuff, but I don't want to get into that because I've already gotten heated about one thing today. It's just a lot. Like, it's a lot, right? It's a lot. Anyways, like I said, that was 3.2. If you like this video, make sure to give me a like down below, as well as subscribe for more, and click the little notification bell to be notified when I upload new ones. I'll do my best to link everything down below, but I'll probably forget HoYoLab because I always forget HoYoLab. Anyways, as always, I hope everyone had or is having a super lovely day wherever you are in the world. I'm assuming everyone is pulling for Castorice, so I wish everyone luck on their Castorice pulls, and I will see you all in my next video. Hopefully you won't get cursed by the narrative. Bye, guys!